What is going on YouTube? This is a live. I'm just popping in here because I want to, I was actually doing some work this morning and I thought, well, why not just go ahead and go live? Normally I will email my list to help bring some people over. I don't expect there to be a ton of people watching live, but maybe you just happened upon this as I'm live. Maybe you subscribe to the channel, but I'm definitely going to leave this video up so that you, if you're watching this later when I'm not live, you can still benefit from the training. And what I'm trying to do this year is show up a little bit more live and kind of let you work alongside me. As I've said in some previous lives that I've done on YouTube, sometimes I think it's easier to watch than to watch something actually being done than it is to sit there and just watch tutorial videos. Although those have value, I think a great supplement is actually watching the sausage made, as they say. So we're going to be talking about in this particular video, and I've done some things ahead of time. It's kind of like those baking shows where they kind of show you the process, and then they already have one that's been pre-made, so you didn't have to sit there and wait 45 minutes for it to bake. That's kind of what I've done this morning. So what I'm doing is I'm going to use a tool called Keyword Insights, and it does something phenomenal. What it will do is you feed it a bunch of keywords, and it will keyword cluster every single topic imaginable for your niche and tell you these are the pages that you should create. And what that helps you to do is to avoid what's called keyword cannibalization. I know it's a fancy word, but the idea is, why spend all this effort writing 10 different blog posts when you could write one blog post that includes all 10 of those keywords? And what this tool does, this tool will take a bunch of keywords that you feed it, and it'll check all the rankings in Google for each individual keyword, and it will say, you know what? The same pages are ranking for these 10 keywords, so just write one blog post. It's an incredibly powerful tool. I've been using it now for a while for my Blogging Your Passion blog. Also started up a Shopify blog around selling sports cards. And I am starting one, hopefully later this year, around the idea of reselling online, reselling on eBay, books, sports cards, things like that. And so I thought it would be fun to kind of jump into my screen, walk you through a little bit of how I'm doing this, and maybe to be a help to you in some way. This will help. And before I kind of jump in, let me just explain like two SEO trends that have really captured my attention right now. One of them is the idea of keyword clustering, which I just explained. And the second one is content velocity. In other words, a lot of SEO experts out there will tell you, go spend most of your time creating backlinks and doing all those things. When I have seen evidence of people who just focused on building out lots of blog posts and doing this kind of content velocity. In other words, write about all the things, which, by the way, in the past has been extremely difficult to do because you had to have a whole writing team. But now if you use smart AI tools, not just produce blog posts from AI and just slap them onto a blog. We don't want to do that. The tool that I love the best, there actually is a link below for Content at Scale. It does a really good job of producing, but I still spend about an hour with that content, making it my own, optimizing it, putting in my own experience. But I'm saving a lot of time because these are 3,000 word blog posts that normally would take me 5 or 6 hours to create. I'm able to do all of it in about an hour, which is incredibly powerful. Now, I've done another video on that on my channel. If you have not seen that yet, you look under the live tab on the channel and you will find me actually optimizing a post for an AI post for SEO purposes. But those are the two things that has really got my attention now. And I've increased the velocity. In fact, let me show you. Let me jump into the screen and kind of show you some of this stuff here. So, all right. So I'll just put a little bit of music on so that it'll fill in a little dead space while I'm doing a little bit of work. But let's actually pop over into the screen. Okay, so I'm going to put on my blue blocker glasses. All right, so what I want to do, let's see here. 1 second. Again, I know I am live here, so let's actually go over to, and this tool is the result. And I know I just said the music's playing and now it's not. Just ignore that. We're just live. I'm not going to mess with it. And this isn't going to be extremely long because I've already kind of done the work ahead of time, so you don't have to sit there and watch me do it. But I want to show you kind of the process. So what you do with this keyword cluster tool, and there's a link below, it's called keywordinsights.ai. And what you would do is you would come in here and you'd create a new project and you would click keyword clustering. You would name your project, what your project is, the location, and then of course your language. And then you're going to go through the process of saying, I want to cluster. And if you already have an existing blog, you can toggle on rank, but it uses a few more credits. And then you could use turn on the context if you want. Basically, it's going to say, is this a informational keyword? Is this a transactional keyword? Those can be helpful, but you want to at least turn this on. In this case, with this new blog, I bought a domain name not too long ago called thriftyresellershub.com that I'm going to build a content site on. And eventually I'm going to, the goal for that site is to create a course that I can sell and also earn money with some ad revenue on the informational keywords, and then have some affiliate revenue with the transactional type keywords. That's a lot. Maybe you don't understand necessarily what that is, but that's what I'm planning to do. So what I did, let me go back to projects, is I'll just jump into it. So I can go into this one, and what I did, let's see if it will, yeah, it's not going to really show. What I did was I filtered it, and then let me show you actually how I did that. So one of the places, you can use any keyword tool out there. Does not matter. Any keyword tool, you can use Google's free keyword tool. But what I started with is I just came in here and I put in eBay, because that's kind of the focus. And then what you do is you go over here to matching terms. And matching terms is going to show you, yeah, and there's like 3.5 million keywords on the topic of eBay. But one of the next steps that I like to do is I like to use this include and exclude. Now, I'm not going to take the time to sit here and do it. I'll do it a little bit, but I start with the include keywords. So since I'm focusing on teaching people how to sell on eBay, then I'm looking for things like seller. So I would come over here to include, and I would type in seller, comma, and I want this to be any word. Selling. Now the reason I'm doing this, I'll just give you an example. So if I click on selling, you'll see all these keywords include eBay and selling. So selling on eBay, eBay fees for selling, my eBay selling. These are all informational keywords that I could potentially create blog posts on, right? So I've got all of that going here, and I'm just going to exit that out. And so I'm going to go through these matching terms, and I'm going to keep looking for things like sell. So let's add seller, selling, sell. And I'm just going to throw, I'm not going to do all of them here, but let's see, listing would probably be a good one. And let's just stop there, okay? So then I click apply and hit show results. And now those 3 million keywords are down to 156. Now what I want to do is I want to do exclude. So there's certain things I may not want to have in my keywords. So as I'm looking down through here, car, I don't plan on talking about selling cars on eBay. So I want to go ahead and add that. See if anything else sticks out. maybe 2022 since that's over. I mean, I could use those same keywords with 2023. Motors, and you kind of get the point, right? So then I click apply to this one, hit show results. Now it's down to about 154. So then what I do is I click on export, and you're only able typically, unless you go for a really expensive plan in Ahrefs, to get the first 2,500, which is fine. We're just going to grab the first 2,500, export that. Then the next step is to, if you already have a blog in your niche, you could come in here and you could put in, so for example, if I put in bloggingyourpassion.com and search, I can see here that there's roughly 2,100 words that that site is ranking for. I could export this out and include that in my report, so it'll organize it with some of the content I've already created. But since this site that I'm working on is brand new, what I would do is I would go find, I would search for like top blogs who teach how to sell on eBay, and I would just grab one. So we're going to grab this one, Hustle and Slow. This is one that I looked at, and I'm going to put this in again to Site Explorer. And actually, I want to go back to the original Site Explorer here before I get into their keywords. And so, yes, I want to grab their 5,000 keywords, but I can actually go down here to organic competitors. And what this is going to do is it's going to show me all the competitors of that site. And then what I can do is throw this into the tool and grab their keywords. So you want to have like two tabs open when you do this. So I'm just going to use the example I already have here, right? So we'll go back again to Site Explorer. And I would pick like the top 3 or 5. And I would click on their keywords. And now these are the keywords that one of my competitors is ranking for. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to export this, get at least 2,500 of those keywords, export it out. So I did that with 5 competitors, I believe, and with getting organic keywords from the results. Then I come in here to, in fact, I'll just show you a little bit. Maybe this would be helpful. Let me go ahead and export just to have an example. And let's go ahead and export this one. And I'm not going to run this new project, but I want to show you how it works. So I'm just going to call this test project United States English. And now it's going to say I'm going to do cluster. I would at least do this one. It's going to ask for which one. I like going for the slower one because it's a little bit more detailed. Now the keyword grouping accuracy at 4, what that means is it's going to check for each of these keywords, compare them to one another. And if these two keywords, so for example, if keyword, and there's our music back because I switched scenes, but if you have 2 keywords like start a blog and start a lifestyle blog, what this tool does is it checks both of those in the rankings. And if 4 or more sites, if the same sites and articles are ranking for both, it's going to include that into one. It's going to say create one blog post. If it's not, it's going to separate that out, which is really, really awesome. And it's going to give you a ton of ideas for writing blog posts. Keep this at medium. You can turn on the context. Again, it's going to use a few more credits. They have different plans that will give you a certain number of credits. I believe also, if you want to try out the tool, I should mention that since I am an affiliate of this, there's a link below, and I believe it's going to give you can sign up for free. They have some free tools in here that I use as well. It's going to give you like 750 keywords that you could keyword cluster just for sign up for their free account. But to do what I'm doing will require you to upgrade to the paid account. So you can turn on context. You can turn on rank if you already have a blog, and it will notify you and show you, hey, this keyword, this page is already ranking. Maybe you can improve it. And then you can turn on the title AI. I don't. It's just more credits. What it does is it's going to give you like 3 optimized titles that you could have for a blog post targeting a certain keyword. All right, then you go to the upload file section. And actually, I think I'm supposed to turn that on. Got that on. Load at least one file. Oh, here it is. I just got it zoomed in, so that's why I can't see it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take those downloads. We're gonna import these. We're not gonna worry about if there's duplicate keywords because the system is going to be able to handle both of these, which is really cool, right? So it just uploaded both. Now I need to map, and I only need to map keyword and the volume. So I'm gonna go keyword on this one is that one. And I got to find the volume one, which is that one, which is really cool, right? You can just import a bunch of keywords from different places, throw them all in here. And so here's the keyword on this one, and here's the volume on that one. All right, so now it's telling me below that it's going to use 4,800 credits, and it's going to tell me that they found 130 keywords that were the same between these two. So you're not having to pay extra for that. Then you're going to go to summary, and then you're going to actually let the system do its thing. All right. So now that that's done, you're going to end up, if I go back to projects, this is the actual one that you get into. You can use their software to see the different clusters in here. Or I'm kind of a spreadsheet guy. So I like to go export, and then I go ahead and throw it in Google Drive. So now in Google Drive, here it is. And let me just go ahead and zoom this in so you can see this a little bit better. Now there's a few different tabs here. I actually haven't looked at this, so I'm looking at this for the first time. There's 2 different ways to look at this. You can look at it via clusters. You can look at it with a cool pivot table. So this is saying, and I probably wouldn't target this one because it's just navigational type keyword. So let's find one. That might be an interesting one. eBay fee calculator, maybe. Let's close this down. So easy. Selling on eBay. Okay, so the hub, think of hub as like maybe a category, right? Selling on eBay. And what this is saying is there are these keyword clusters that we can go after. Another helpful way, and there's a few tabs down at the bottom, might be helpful to look at it from this point of view. So let me narrow down a couple of these hubs. Until we find one here. Combined shipping eBay, Goodwill warehouses, clothing resellers. Is dumpster diving illegal? That's awesome. All right. Macari reprint. I'm just narrowing it down until I find one that's like really kind of intriguing for me. Again, you don't have to create articles on all of these. Okay, here's one. How to start an eBay store, right? So if I want to teach how to sell on eBay, then my audience is searching that up. And so what this is saying is, let's narrow this down here and this one. Okay, so what keyword cluster is telling us is kind of the hub. If you've heard of hub and spoke, the big article to create here is how to start an eBay store. But you should also create an article on how to start selling on eBay as a separate article. And you should also create how to start an eBay store without inventory as a separate article. So in other words, you're going to be writing 3 articles, and here's what you're going to include. So if I expand this one, how to start an eBay store. Over here, over here are all the keywords that I should try. I don't have to force it in there. But in my article on how to start an eBay store, I should be looking to include these variations. Because what the key, and by the way, if you look over here at the volume, so what this is saying is all of these keywords have these searches, but if you create one article, if I narrow this down, this will make sense. You'll see that this one article on how to start an eBay store can have potential of up to 18,500 searches a month. And so the point I'm trying to make is, if you know anything about SEO, it's not just about one keyword. You don't rank for one keyword. You rank for an assortment of keywords. And if you know how to target all of the right ones on all the same pages, then you're going to be much better off. And so what the Keyword Insight tool has done is it's saying, hey guys, there are all these keywords right here, and this is kind of an extreme example because there's a lot, but all these keywords right here have the same articles and websites ranking for the same. So just create one. So you don't have to create an article on how to start an eBay store, opening eBay store, how to set up eBay store. We're not creating more content. We're being smarter about the content we create. And so instead, we're going to target as many of these as we can into one article on how to start an eBay store. Now, the other cool thing about this from an SEO standpoint is, again, the hub is how to start an eBay store. And then this Keyword Insights is saying, create an article on how to start an eBay store, create an article on how to start selling on eBay, and create an article on how to start an eBay store without inventory. So when I create how to start selling on eBay, I'm going to point a link back to how to start an eBay store because they're so closely related, right? And the same here, when I create this blog post, I'm going to put a link back to how to start an eBay store. And so as you can see, if I just collapse all of these, let's go collapse all in Hub. I've got lots and lots of blog posts. Gone, writer's block is gone, right? And that's what's so amazing. The other thing you can do, if this is a little bit overwhelming, is you can use the standard like find in a sheet and look for the most popular types of articles to create. Some of mine are using ideas, right? So looking up ideas, there's like 12. This is Hub. Maybe I should expand that because we're not just creating hubs. We're also creating these spokes, as they call it, are all, think of those as like blog posts, right? So we could go blog posts. So each spoke is a blog post, and it might sit under a hub, which might be like a blog category somewhat, or just a major blog topic or seed topic. Okay, so now I can search. You can see ideas. I've got 75 here. So let's see here. Poshmark username ideas. Poshmark is just a competitor of eBay. Mercari username ideas. I want to collapse all of these so that I'm not getting into the actual keywords. I'm thinking about articles. So collapse all in spoke. All right, now that collapsed. So let's go back up here. So we've got 27 here. Paint gift ideas, not really. Clothes photography ideas. Now Poshmark username ideas. Poshmark, if I wanted to target that. eBay inventory storage ideas. This is a great one, right? People searching for this are trying to sell on eBay. So that for this particular blog, this would be a really good one to create. Besides ideas, I also like best. So you can see here, best way to sell on eBay. And I got 230 article ideas in here. Best eBay sellers, best selling, bestseller in eBay, best printer for shipping labels. And so for this particular one, I would write up this article and I would have Amazon affiliate keywords that are pointing to Amazon for things like this, best printer for shipping labels, right? Another good one is versus. When people are comparing two different things, they're in a potential buying state. So those are great for affiliate, are articles with affiliate links in them. So Amazon versus eBay, blah, blah, blah. Those are some standard ones. Let's see if we get anything else interesting here. Looks like they're mostly comparing different places to sell things. So this is a good one, selling books on eBay versus Amazon. I think that's a great potential article. All right, looks like they're comparing a lot of platforms, which is good. Those are great articles. All right, so there you go. Like what I've shown you in this is exactly the strategy that I'm using right now for my existing sites and for sites that I'm looking to get into. And by combining these two, what I would call SEO trends right now of keyword clustering and content velocity, meaning go publish the content, right? With these AI tools, they can create really good draft content. They're the best research assistant in the world. Now, it doesn't mean, again, that we're going to be lazy and we're just going to take it and we're going to throw it over there, right? We need to think about this in terms of kind of 60-40. It's going to do 60% of the work, but there's still 40% of the work that needs to be done. Mixing in SEO words, adding in your own experience, removing stuff that just doesn't make sense, adding in links, adding in affiliate links, adding in internal linking. All of those things are important. But what I found is in about an hour a day, I can create a really good, solid SEO, 3,000 word article and publish it every day. That's the content velocity. And so when you combine the keyword clustering, which gives you exactly what people are searching for. And by the way, this is the biggest mistake that bloggers make, is just writing stuff off the top of their head. You could spend time writing a really, really good article, but if nobody's searching for the thing you're talking about, it's not going to get found. If you want to write about your own ideas, then you need to go over to Medium and just start a Medium blog. Those are more for the thought leaders. When you want to dominate, you want to be a topical leader on a subject matter, this is the process. Find what people are searching for, get them clustered into the groups of keywords so that you know exactly what you need to create. Use tools like Content at Scale. Look at the link below and you'll find a link for that. And Content at Scale will produce these in about 5 minutes, a long form blog post. You spend an hour working and editing and optimizing the content, publishing it every day, and you're just going to see your traffic increase, your leads increase. I've been doing this for about a month now, and I have seen a huge increase in my blogs that I've been using this process. So there you go. Again, impromptu, I may send a email to my list another day pointing them to come watch this video, but I'm trying to be more transparent in my work that I'm doing and just show you how I'm doing things and what I'm thinking about so that you can adopt some of what I'm doing. Use what you like, throw out what you don't, but this is where, this is what I'm focused on this year in terms of creating more awareness and building more leads into my business. So hope this was helpful. And if you got any questions, you're watching this after it was live, you go ahead and comment below. I'll come back and Happy to answer any questions about any of this. And if you like some of the tools I talked about today, then you can definitely check out the links below. And they have specials if you go through our partner link. I know with Content at Scale, you'll get 20% more bonus credits. So in other words, you'll be able to create more blog posts. And that's every single month you get 20% more. So for example, if you take their 8 blog post a month plan, you'll actually get 10 blog posts every month going through our partner link. And it's the same price whether you go through the homepage or through us. All right, so hope that was helpful. Let me know if you got any questions in the comments below. Take care. Have a good day.